So I was born in Boston, Massachusetts, but I moved to Los Angeles when I was like 4 weeks old. So I basically was born and raised here. I wanted to be a truck driver because they had the biggest cars on the road. Then I wanted to be president. Then I wanted to be an NBA basketball player. So I wanted to be Jeremy Lin, basically. So before doing music, I was an accountant. So when I graduated from college, it was 2010, and that was like the peak of unemployment. I don't know if you guys know that, but so I basically was just happy with any job that I got, and I was just really happy that I wasn't unemployed. So accounting was very safe, and so I did that, and I just didn't enjoy it, man. It just wasn't for me, so I just moved on to music. There was a lot of verbal resistance from my family. Like, why are you quitting your job? You know, in this job market, you got a job. Why would you not appreciate it and quit and do music? And well, if you're doing music, why aren't you doing violin? That, you know, we spent so much money and time on you for like 12 years. Why are you doing like singing? When did you start singing? You know, like, but I didn't ask them for any help financially. And I was kind of like, I know my dad saw firsthand how much time I was spending when I was, you know, while I was working also. So I think he understood because he was here witnessing it all. But I think my mom and they're more traditional and they're like overseas. They didn't really get it. So there was a lot of resistance, but nothing like firm. Nothing like, no, you're no longer my son. They were kind of just like, well, like, damn, you know, like, I guess he just needs to do this and, you know, he'll go back to his job later kind of thing. Yeah. Well, the first ever person that actually made a video with me that got decent amount of views was Olivia Tai. And I think the people who really got me to quit my job and like really put my head into perspective was Just Kidding Films. And then someone who taught me how to do original music and tell me like how to monetize this was one of my friends called Jay Rice. I've actually never met him before. He's actually just like out on the East Coast somewhere, but we were friends online. And Joseph Vincent, one of my most popular videos was from him. So Asian Americans, I'd say, are known as trendsetters on YouTube because there's no like barrier to entry. You know, you don't have to like audition, you don't have to get someone's approval to post your content. And as long as there's an audience for it, people can watch. People can choose what they want to watch. And if there's an Asian American market out there that doesn't have an option to watch the mainstream, they'll naturally flock to YouTube. When I see fans who aren't Asian American, I don't know if this is the right way to feel, but I feel a lot of pressure. You know, when I see a familiar face, I'm kind of like, well, you know, I feel very comfortable, can relate to you really easily. But when I see someone who's not Asian American, I feel a lot of pressure in the sense that I don't want to mess up. I don't want to do something stupid and maybe further perpetuate any stereotypes that they may or may not have. So initially it was just YouTube, then it was Facebook. Now like Instagram has kind of taken over Facebook. Now there's Snapchat, now there's Vine. So things keep changing, and you just kind of have to learn how to adapt and go with it. And without social media, we would only have the traditional route. So we all know how that's been working out for Asian Americans. So I'm just very, very privileged and very like happy to have this. Okay, so advice to someone who's looking to transition into full-time music. It's not easy. Don't expect to get famous or rich like overnight, or ever really. So make sure it's something you really love to do. Otherwise, if you view it as a job, like how much did I make and how much time I spent putting into it, it's not gonna make any sense. You're gonna be really miserable. So you have to make sure it's something you want to do, and you have to set aside. You can't really do it halfway. You kind of have to just set aside 2 years, 1 year, and just say, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna go all in on it and hope for the best. Because with everything, there's gonna be luck involved, timing, and just hard work.
I'm doing my best to push myself as an actor and push myself as an Asian American actor to get myself out there and represent the community in a positive way.
Don't be afraid to fail, because failures add character and color, and it's those imperfections and flaws and mistakes that you make along the way that add to a great story.
We just wanted to bring good food to good people. If you love what you're doing, go do it, because if we can do it, like, so can you.
Asian Americans, I'd say, are known as trendsetters on YouTube because there's no like barrier to entry.
You just need to find who you are inside and go forward with it and just show the world what you have.
In terms of Asian representation, it's an important issue, and the more there's a dialogue about it, I think the more progress that can happen.
To ask these questions is really important, but what are the answers, and what are you going to do with the answers to these questions that are the most important thing?
I think that's the only way to change anything, is to just take it and change it yourself.